Morning. Had a neighbor drop off a chainsaw today, and he said that the blade or the chain keeps falling off of it. Wanted me to take a look at it, so let's do it together. And here it is. Pop that open. It is a Stihl MS-170. It should be a fairly new saw, because the last one he dropped off with me, I said was just not worth saving because it would take more in parts than it would to just buy a new saw. So this should be a fairly new saw. So let's see. Yeah. Don't overlook the small things, guys. Said that the chain kept falling off whenever he would try to use it. Can you see the problem? Chain's on backwards. So that should be a fairly simple fix. Moved you down to a lower tripod so you could be able to see this. So the way you take the chain off is these two nuts that are right here using the provided wrench. If you don't have this wrench, you can use sockets, and I'm not exactly sure what size those are, so let me find that out for you real quick. So these are 19 millimeter or 3/4, whichever one you happen to have. Either one will fit on there, but we have the tool, so we're going to use that. So we're just going to use the bigger end, stick it on there, and loosen those things up. Loosen those up a little bit, and then you can spin them off by hand. Once you get those off, it's going to pop this side plate off. You just set that to the side. Then on this one, it has an adjustment screw for the tension, and it is right here. This little flathead screw. You turn that, what is that? Counterclockwise to loosen the tension on there, and then clockwise to tension it up. So we're just going to spin that back a few turns. That way we can loosen this bar up. All right, now it's loosey-goosey. We can pop this off. So you know he has the chain on backwards because the top of the chain is going to be going towards the nose of the bar, meaning that the bottom will be coming towards the saw. And if you look at the teeth, the cutting edge is on the wrong side. So the back side of the tooth is going into the cut. So what we're going to do is just pop that chain right out of the groove on the bar, and then we're going to flip it over. Well, no, we're going to spin it. So now we have the cutting edge, which is the angled portion on the front there, the angled portion going forward. So we're going to take our bar, flip it over, and then just slide it right into this groove. Just pop it in there. That way now, when we put it back on, the cutting edge of the teeth are going forward on the top and coming towards the saw on the bottom. So then, just get it all lined up in the groove. Now, when you're getting this back on, you have this little hole back here that is going to line up with the adjustment nub, which is right here. You've got this threaded rod right there, and as you tighten it, this little nub is going to push the bar forward, tensioning the chain. So you're going to take your bar and your chain, and you just want to slide it on to the posts here. Just going to slide these two posts right into the middle of that groove and then have your chain go over the sprocket. Now it's not fitting all the way in there because that nub is not lined up with that hole. So we're just going to push it forward until that nub goes through that hole. And since it's loose right now, the chain is going to be all loosey-goosey. We'll fix that in a minute. So then what I'm going to do, take my plate, put it back on. Get out of here. That's in place. Then we put our nuts back on. I want to make sure that that plate is all the way up in place. And then just put them on by hand, finger tight. Now, you see everything's back together, but it's still all loosey-goosey. So we're going to take our screwdriver and we're going to turn this adjustment screw clockwise. And as I do that, if I can get it at the right angle and not block it, turn this clockwise to tighten it back up, and you'll see that chain get sucked back up into the bar. There it goes. You don't want your chain sagging below your bar, but you also don't want it super tight. See, that's still a little too loose for my liking. Tighten it up a little more. Because you don't want it to where it's clamped down into the bar, but you also don't want it sagging. So you just kind of play with it to find a little sweet spot. That seems just a little too tight, so I'm going to back it off just a little. There we go. See, now it springs, it comes up, got a little bit of play, but it springs right back down and right back up into that groove. Now that is tight. I'm going to hold the tip of the bar up, and then I'm going to tighten these down. All right. The reason I hold the tip of the bar up as I'm tightening those is on my chainsaw, which is an Echo CS590. If you just let the bar hang there and you tighten it up, as you start using your saw, that chain's going to get loose. So I always hold it up a little bit and then tighten them up, and that keeps it at that tension. So we're good to go now. Time to go test her out. So I went outside, fired it up, gave it a few spins, and the chain loosened up just a little. So what I'm going to do is loosen this up, tighten it just a little bit more. I'm not going to take them all the way off or loosen them up a ton. Do that, and then I'm going to tighten it up just a hair more. And then go fire her up again. Okay. Just a little bit tighter, a little bit of fine tuning. Let's try it again. Good to go. So when you're looking at getting your stuff fixed, don't overlook the simple things. Because you could have taken this and go, oh man, is the bar bent? And you start taking things apart and you go, oh man, it could be this, it could be this and that. Don't overlook the little things. Like if you're, if something quits running, don't start tearing apart the engine. Go and check the fuses first. Start with the little things. It could be something simple, just like this one. Just that he put the chain on backwards. No big deal, just takes a few minutes to fix. So I'm gonna get back to work, y'all be good.